All right, guys, what is up? Now, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit today because I'm trying out a new way of going live. I usually use StreamYard, but today I'm not using StreamYard. Today I'm using Streamlabs. So it's just as well that I'm doing this for one of the first times and I'm practicing it on you guys. This is going to be like a practice run. So this is why it's good because these videos are going to be unlisted on the channel. So we've got time to mess up a little bit. So how y'all doing? Let me know how you're doing. And I'm just realizing I don't have the chat here. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I can see the chat there now. Anyway, we've got a interesting live stream today because we've got some news coming up that's going to be controversial. Two controversial stories we've got. Now, the one that you've clicked on this for, of course, the one about Seaspiracy. We're going to talk about Seaspiracy. We're going to talk about them being accused of racism, and we're going to talk about whether these big massive organizations, big massive companies like global companies, international companies, whether it's good or bad that they are releasing vegan products, that they're putting vegan products out. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about just two more little things after that. That's what we're here for. So I'm just a little bit slow right now. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit because I am still trying to figure out like what's going on this, whether I'm actually live or not. I think I'm live. Am I live? Are you guys seeing this? At least the live chat's pretty. Nothing's moving right now. Tell me in the live chat. Is everything good? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is everything looking good to you in the live chat right now? You gotta let me know. Tell me in the live chat. I mean, like not does everything look good in the live chat? I mean, does everything look good on the screen? I am live. Okay, Stacy telling me I'm live. Obviously, Vegan's telling me I'm live. Awesome. Nice. Good. So we are actually live. That's some good news, guys. That's some good news that everything looks good. All right, so shall we jump into the first story then? I mean, is that what we're gonna? Should we just dive in? I'm more nervous than usual, as I said, because I'm not using this. I don't like using the Streamlabs. Hey, look, by the way, before we jump in, actually, let's quickly establish a few things, some interesting things. There are two cool things that you should be aware of. Well, not two. There's one cool thing that you should be aware of. Now, when you guys make a super chat or a Streamlabs donation or Streamlabs tip or whatever you want to call it, you can do a super chat still. You can super chat in the YouTube settings right there in the YouTube chat. You can still choose that in super chat. But now you have another option. In the description of this video, you will find a link that you can support via Streamlabs. So there's two ways you can support the stream now, through the super chat and through Streamlabs. Streamlabs takes less of a cut. So if you're wanting to support the stream, support my work live, this is probably the one to go for. But if you're not too comfortable with that, if you would rather just stick to the super chatting, then because it's easier, then yeah, still awesome. But now when you do that, a little notification will pop up on the screen automatically, and it'll play a little noise, which is going to be, it's going to be pretty cool, right? Something new. So yeah, I hope one of you guys is going to do that for me today. I hope you're going to support the stream, obviously because this is my livelihood and I'm trying to make a living, but also so we can test the sound and the little pop-up and see if it actually works, because I don't know. I've got no idea what I'm doing with this thing so far. So yeah, if that works, that would be a lot of fun. Shall we take a look at the first story then? Should we take a look about what we're talking about? Now I'm going to try something cool here. Check this out. Wow, see that? That was with my phone, guys. I used my phone to do that. I didn't click. Look, check it out. I'll do it again. Watch. Whoop. Let me show you again. Let me show you up here. Watch this, right? Whoop. Phone. Click. 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 How cool is that, right? That I can do that on the phone. So this is mind-blowing for me. I'm learning a lot. Let's take a look at the first story. Seaspiracy, criticized for anti-Inuit racism after targeting seal hunt. Now, what's going on here? Let me talk you through it. This person, I won't say whether they are a boy, girl, whatever. I don't even want to get into the politics of this. But this person here has made a TikTok. Now, you may recognize the name of this person here, Anya Zoledziowsk. I can't pronounce her surname. Why? Well, that's because Anya has written loads of anti-vegan bullshit for Vice, And this is no exception. And she's apparently a vegan, so I really don't understand why she keeps doing this. Well, I do. It's for clout. But yeah, she's back again, obviously, and it's another anti-vegan piece of shit, obviously. Well, excuse me, anti-white vegan piece of shit article. Now, this girl, we may or may not watch her video simply because I find it to be, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just watch her video then. Shall we do that? Let's watch the video that she made about the Seaspiracy post. Now, she explains kind of what she's talking about and what she's upset about, and then we can get into what's going on here.
The importance of traditional hunting, especially fuck Seaspiracy on Instagram. Seaspiracy has almost 500,000 followers and they're sharing stuff like this. Thousands of people have already signed this petition, not understanding the impact that it has on Inuit. Yes, commercial sealing is a problem, but Inuit should not be grouped into that. Due to poverty, extremely high grocery store prices, and unhealthy foods, many Inuit rely on our traditional ways of hunting in order to survive. And Seaspiracy has allowed people to have conversations like this, as if moving is even a possibility, as if enough hasn't been stolen from us, and people pretending that they know us. This form of activism does absolutely nothing for positive change. The importance of traditional hunting.
And that's it. So that has over 1 million hits now. It's gone super viral. So let's break it down. So it's fuck Seaspiracy. So straight away we're in there where we know we're dealing with someone that's going for clout, right? Fuck Seaspiracy. They did an Instagram post that I didn't like. I mean, forget all the good work they've done. Forget the incredible documentary they put out that was hard hitting. Forget all the statistics. Just fuck them because they made an Instagram post, right? That I didn't like. Now, the Instagram post they made, I can't get a hold of that, all right? It says here, stop the Canadian seal hunt. I can't get it. They've removed it. Seaspiracy removed it. So I can't tell you what else it said. But I'm going to go ahead and make the assumption, and this assumption is based on, basic logic, that they didn't, within that post, say, stop the Inuits from trying to survive. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's not what they said, because I'm 100% certain it's not what they said. What they were talking about when they said stop the Canadian seal hunt, funnily enough, was they wanted to stop the Canadian fucking seal hunts, because there's a very big difference between the indigenous seal hunt, the Inuit seal hunt, and the commercial seal hunt going on in Canada. I read a bit about it. This is you can get this yourself if you want to go and find it and read it. But let's just give you the top line of this, right? The Canadian seal hunt is an annual event that occurs during March and April, where roughly 300,000 baby seals that are just shy of a month old are killed. Right? The baby seals are born with white fur. Starts to go away after the first 12 days of their life. Once that happens, it becomes legal to kill them. Most of them don't make it to 3 months of age prior to being killed, and they do this because they're selling the fur for high prices because of the fur industry, the fashion industry. That's what the commercial trade is. The Inuit people, they're doing it to survive in a harsh environment, and they're only killing around 1,000 seals annually and 10,000 for a total of 11,000 seals annually. 2 different species of seals they're killing, 11,000 a year, and that's how many the Inuits are killing. Now, I'm not saying in it by any stretch of the imagination that like any of this killing is good. I don't think it's good. I think if there was a way that we could all live without killing, I think we should do it. But I don't know. I've not looked into the Inuit situation in Canada enough to comment on whether or not it's possible for those people to live without killing. I'm just saying, I'm sure those people would, if they had the choice, prefer to choose not to kill baby seals to survive, as opposed to killing baby seals to survive. I'm going to go ahead and assume that they're good people that would choose not to if they could, or if there were other options, I would assume that they would like to do those other options rather than killing. I assume the best in people, right? But anyway, regardless, that's not what the point we're here for. So forget that for a second, because that's a topic that I'm not delving into, whether the Inuits can, live without killing or not. It's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is how is Seaspiracy anti-Inuit, being anti-Inuit racist here? How are they being racist and against the Inuit people by saying stop the Canadian seal hunt? Spoiler alert, they're fucking not. They're not being racist. They were talking about the commercial seal hunt. Anyone with 2 fucking brain cells to rub together could see that they were not talking about Inuits, because if they were talking about stop the Inuit people from trying to kill to survive, what they would basically be saying is stop the Inuit people from surviving, i.e., kill the Inuit people. And they definitely weren't fucking saying that, were they? Which is why it's obvious to anyone who looks at this objectively and like actually looks at it with a rational brain that they were talking about the Canadian seal hunt, not talking about the specific Inuits who were killing for survival. Now, Seaspiracy did talk about this, and they did come out and actually say that they were not talking about the Inuits. Let me read out what they said here. So they responded saying, let me just double check you can actually see my screen. Yes, you can. We recently put out a post sharing information about the annual seal hunt in Canada. The post, however, did not make the important distinction between mass slaughter of seals and the Inuit subsistence hunt, which has understandably caused some confusion and concern. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank Ugrana, which is the girl person we just spoke about, who brought this to our attention and clarified that we were referring to the industrial mass slaughter of seals and not targeting those who depend on hunting. So they removed the post, practically apologized, and yeah, there was no need to remove the post, in my opinion, because they had nothing to apologize for. They hadn't done anything wrong. They actually talked about commercial slaughter. They didn't talk about the Inuits. It's just this bullshit outrage culture coming for them, as we're all dealing with. And what makes it, this is a lesson to everyone here, by the way. So what happens when you apologize? So the actual, credit where credit's due, the original person who made this, Ugrana, did say, follow up with the TikTok saying, okay, yeah, I'm happy that they apologized, whatever. So yeah, she got what she wanted, so she was happy. But it really, at least she didn't keep slamming them, is what I'm saying. She kind of like, oh, I got what I wanted, so I'm happy now, moved on. But check this out, right? This is what happens when you apologize. Okay, so she said, Agruna said, it's a good step in the right direction. Oh yeah, no, she didn't completely accept it, but people can't be applauded for doing the bare minimum. So it's like, yeah, they apologized. They apologized for something they shouldn't have apologized for, and then that's just the bare minimum. That's just the bare minimum. No, they took down a post that was perfectly adequate for what they were trying to explain that you got offended by. They took it down because you got offended. They didn't have to take it down. It wasn't the bare minimum. It was actually a big effort by them to try and appease you. So no, it's not the bare minimum, but this is what you get. And then someone else responded about an Inuk filmmaker said, told Vice World News, Seaspiracy's apology doesn't go far enough. In part because a lot of Inuit work in commercial sealing, you can't just say, I'm only against commercial or the Canadian seal hunt. Both include Inuit and are dominated by Inuit, she said. So what these people are basically trying to say is that Seaspiracy should not try to stop that disgusting commercial seal hunt because Inuits want to make money from it. And then we're back to that point again, which we're not going to dive too far into, but if the Inuit people are doing what they're doing to survive because they literally need to do it to survive, then that's difficult to argue against. Obviously, you don't want people to be dying of starvation and cold and all those things. If they're doing it to make money, if they're doing it for profit, well, then, yeah, you can argue against that. You can absolutely argue against that. Something being... If we can't just be focusing on what makes money, right? There are many ways that we could make money that are immoral, and we don't do it because it's immoral. This is one of the ways that is immoral. Killing baby seals to sell their fur. They get skinned alive, by the way, something I didn't mention. They get skinned alive, and this is happening every year, like that, as you saw, thousands and thousands of them just for their fur, not for anything else. As if it would make it any better anyway. But the point is, it's for profit, not for survival. Then you can absolutely argue against that, and I would argue against that. So that's basically it. That's overall the gist. Long story short, no, they're not racist for what they said. No, they're not racist for saying that the commercial seal hunt should be stopped. And if the commercial seal hunt involves Inuit people, then I would say, to the Inuit people, why you survived for thousands of years living a certain way, right? And you're very proud of that. Indigenous people are very proud of the way they've lived for thousands of years. All right. If you're very proud of it, then why are you trying to contribute to a commercial takeover that is literally destroying this species of animal, like, stripping their skin off them alive and killing so many more of them for profit, how is that, you're talking about your customs and your traditions. How is any of this in line with your strong beliefs and customs and traditions that you're trying to uphold and that you're using as an argument here to say Seaspiracy is racist? It's such a fucking hypocrisy. You either want to live traditionally and culturally and all those things that you preach about, right? Which means you don't get involved in this massive, disgusting commercial seal hunt, or you actually don't give a fuck about your tradition and culture, and you do get involved in this massive, massive commercial seal hunt, but then you can't get upset when Seaspiracy turns around and says that it's wrong. You can't have it both ways. You can't have your cake and you can't fucking eat it. And that's more or less what I've got to say about that, guys. I've not been able to keep up with the chat, but I can see it now. Damn, I don't know how this bloody thing works. I was hoping to see. Oh, I got Will Farrell in the chat. That's cool. I saw someone made a super chat, but it didn't do the thing. Lethal Ratchet. Thank you so much for your super chat. Really appreciate that. It didn't bounce up, did it, on the screen, or did it? I don't know. Did it do something? Did I miss it, guys? did it make a sound or something? Let's see if I can figure this out. Yeah, I'm still learning this, by the way. I should have done something, but it didn't. Well, I just tested it now. You guys can see that, I guess. It seems to be working. That's what it's supposed to do. But yeah, I guess it's not working. Or maybe I didn't hear it. I don't know, guys. Either way, let me know. Did it work? Did you see the sloth when that super chat came in? What happened? Oh, but yeah, okay. So that's that. That's the first story. That's the it popped up on my screen with no sound. Okay, it didn't. It's fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, love. All right. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I'll figure this out for next time. Figure out what the hell's going on with that, huh? So let's look at the next story, shall we? Let's take a look at what we. Unless you want to dive into that a little bit more, because I don't know. Look, I've said all I need to say about that. To be honest with you, I'm very disappointed in this movement lately. I don't know. It's not even a fucking movement, is it? Really? Let's be honest. Where I'm disappointed in the groups of vegans around the world who were so quick to jump on each other and shout racist. Oh my goodness, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And yeah, and it's not like everyone is just screaming racist and not paying attention to the opposite kind of arguments. Is that I had a discussion in my Discord with another vegan who had said that he actually thought that Seaspiracy was kind of racist because they only focused on Asian countries and what Asians were doing. And I pointed out that that's not true at all. They focused on American companies mainly. They focused on the international fishing industry. They didn't press they didn't have interviews with anyone, any heads of any organizations that weren't American. I think I'm just trying to remember right now. So it's just this narrative that's now getting pushed to try to debunk the movie because people are upset about what it's saying, and including this Inuit TikToker who, look, I'd like to assume that she has good intentions, but the way she went about this and now how this video's gone viral and she kind of got what she wanted, which seems to be, for me, it just seems like she was trying to get some attention. The whole narcissism around it, and there's a lot of narcissism around anyone who's a content creator. Like, I've got to admit, you can see a lot of it, and sometimes it's not the worst thing in the world to be kind of putting things out with the aim of shocking and getting attention. You can call that narcissism. I don't think it's always narcissism, but what I'm trying to say is I understand that the game of social media is you need to be powerful, you need to put a message out there, you need to get attention. But when your message is just bullshit, just looking for drama so you can get yourself kind of up and make people look at you like you're a fucking warrior, like a social justice warrior, which practically that's where the term came from, is these people going out positioning themselves as I am the warrior of the ones who don't need to be spoken for, but I'm going to pretend that they need to be spoken for. It's kind of, I don't know. I found the whole thing just very and if the actual topic that this kind of person is speaking about is legit, if Seaspiracy literally put out there stop the Inuits, then I wouldn't have made this video, because I'd be like, well, that maybe isn't too, good from their part. Maybe it is insensitive that they know, have they researched the Inuits? Do they know that these people can survive without doing what they're doing, hunting? It would be a little bit short-sighted just to start shouting, stop the Inuits from hunting, when the alternative would be that maybe they die out. I mean, that would be a little bit ridiculous, wouldn't it, for any account to go posting something like that, especially one as influential, Seaspiracy. But it's not what they did, so it's a moot point, isn't it? It's kind of done and done right there, isn't it? I've ranted on about that long enough. Now we're going to switch it up. We're going to talk about next story, which is large multinationals. Right, guys, this is I posted about this in the community tab. Are large multinationals are conquering the vegan market? Is that a good or a bad thing? When we talk about large multinationals, we're talking about these absolute monster companies. We're talking like Unilever. We're talking like, Burger King. You can see right here. We're talking about Tyson. We're talking about Nestle. These absolute giants are actually starting to dominate. Well, they already are dominating the vegan market, right? The vegan spaces with these kind of products like, Incredible Burger, and the Beyond Meat is McDonald's. And so it's an interesting topic, and it's one that, I'll be totally honest with you, it's one that I have taken quite a strong position on in the past. I've taken quite a strong position that we as vegans shouldn't. I didn't think that vegans, but I spoke for myself. I was of the opinion that I will not support these companies. I will not do it, right? I won't support them. These big companies like Burger King and stuff like that, because I felt like it was like a conflict of morals, basically, that I am going to support these monster companies that are abusing animals, just because they have one vegan product. And I kind of still more or less stand by that I will always go to, quite extreme lengths. Oh, it's not extreme, is it? But I'll try to avoid them, all right? I try to avoid them. I try to go for the companies that are more ethical, more moral, and especially, vegan companies, right? Obviously, I would prefer to go for vegan companies, and companies that aren't going to be contributing to all that death and suffering, right? So, and also it's important to recognize that as vegans, we are not even a big enough percentage of the population to make that much of a difference anyway. It's actually the flexitarians, it's actually the, vegetarians and the reducers who are contributing all the profit for these companies to keep making vegan products, right? So it's not like if we don't buy it, it'll disappear. That's not true. If vegans don't buy it, it's most likely still going to be on the shelves because all the flexitarians and all these other people are buying it, right? So vegans aren't keeping these products alive, is what I'm trying to tell you right now. But I used to think they were overall bad. That's the point I'm getting at here. So let's take a look at some of the opinions of some of the people who've talked about this. So firstly, it says between 2010 and 2020, companies producing alternative products to animal-based products raised almost $6 billion, which is a lot of money. And this is in like supporting new products and like research and stuff like that. It's a lot of money. And they gave some examples and some opinions of some people working within the animal rights and vegan spaces. Christina Rodrigo is a country manager at ProVeg. Said the mission is to demand better food systems that are more sustainable, resilient, and functional. It will be impossible to achieve this without asking companies and organizations to review and improve their approach. So she's talking about bringing in companies like Nestle and Unilever to change regardless of what they did in the past. And these massive brands and multinationals, she's saying they need to be applauded. Maria Troya, who's a research fellow at the Good Food Institute, who I actually listened to a podcast with, not her, but with someone else from that organization the other day. We'll talk about that in a minute. And they said that the entry of large corporations into the vegan market is positive and it's essential. It drives a transition towards greater consumption of plant-based products. She's saying we can expect that this entry is going to increase the supply of plant-based products at a lower cost, expand the consumer access to a wide variety of vegan products, and it could lead to corporations replacing their animal product portfolio with plant-based products. So just going to pause there because this is something very interesting that the Good Food Institute is this organization that's working with, they're doing cultured meat, like lab based, and they're also doing just meats based on like plants, like directly from plant based foods. And they talked about how they are in conversations with monster companies that are massive meat producers like Tyson, for example. And they've been keeping track and having conversations and keeping track of interviews with the big CEOs of these companies. And apparently, I didn't know this, the CEO of Tyson Foods, which, by the way, again, if you don't know who they are, they're a monster meat producer. The CEO said, and quote, I'm going to quote what I heard in the in the podcast, but I don't know where this quote is from or where he said it, when he said it. But he said, if we can make meat without the animal, why wouldn't we do it? Right. So I guess basically the point is, this is you don't need, you need to understand how much of a big statement this is. Bear in mind how big Tyson Foods is and how many animals they kill every year. He literally said, if they can make meat that's exactly the same and sell it without any animals, why wouldn't they do it? That for me is just a phenomenal statement for the CEO of one of the biggest meat companies in the world to make. Do you not think that's absolutely incredible? So I've kind of, for me personally, I've moved a little bit towards the actually being for these products now because of comments like that, and because these companies aren't going away, are they? Right? Let's be honest. Tyson's not going anywhere. Nestle's not going anywhere. Yes, they're immoral, mostly immoral companies that do horrible things to both humans and non-humans. They do, right? They are, but they're not going anywhere, and the majority of the public wants to buy their products. So we've got to work within that. At least not we don't, obviously. What we do is insignificant, me and you. As vegans, we are not the target market for these products. Whether we buy it or not, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any difference at all, practically. We are like a tiny percentage of the global population. It's not for us. They're not making it for us. However, in the future, these people who are buying it now could be the vegans of the future, and it could see a big shift. That's true. But at this moment in time, we are not the target market, and we cannot even make a big difference. So whether we buy them or not is irrelevant. What I wanted to talk about is whether it's good or not that it's happening like this. That they basically, like vegan capitalism, that a lot of people are, holding up the vegan capitalism kill. Well, what's the alternative? Non-vegan capitalism? Because capitalism's not going anywhere, is it? It's not good. It's like tomorrow we're just gonna wake up and it's gonna be like communist. The world is turned to a communism, or whatever political system. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. So in the meantime, whilst you're fighting the capitalism, if you're one of those people who fights the capitalism, would you not rather it become vegan capitalism? Would you not rather fight vegan capitalism once that's taken over from non-vegan capitalism? Right? I mean, I'm not claiming to be some kind of economist here, but, or whatever, I'm not a politician. But my point is that these companies, as I said, are not going anywhere, and people are demanding meat. And I have personally spent a lot of my time trying to get people to not think about the taste so much, and not think about the texture and all these things so much, and just think about the animals, and just deal with the changes and deal with. But what if we could actually be saying, well, the alternative, you like burgers, all right, you like eggs, you like cheese, you like milk, you like all these things. Well, you can get all these things literally that taste exactly the same at the same price without the animal, and there's no animal bin. Imagine if we could say that. Imagine saying that in an outreach conversation. Imagine saying that online, like, no, just next time you go to the supermarket, right next to that one, there's this brand that's the same price and it tastes the same. Just buy that, and then you don't have to contribute to the slaughterhouse. Because and this is something, again, in this podcast, it was with Sam Harris, and Sam Harris said this, and he said, if we get to the point where it is the same, tastes the same, looks the same, everything's the same, costs the same or less, then what are people going to say? Like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this plant-based, lab-based meat. Then what are you saying? You would prefer it came from a slaughterhouse? Are you saying, you would rather know that this thing that's on your plate came from blood, guts, screaming, death, cruelty, rather than it came from plants, or that it came from some, food production plant somewhere? Like, who in their right mind would choose the death and the suffering and the slaughter versus the alternative, right? If it was the same price, the same taste, and the same everything. So I've gone through, I've gone through a bit of a thing, I'm kind of like figuring this out. And thank you so much, obviously vegan. I just seen you done the super chat. Bless you, David. Bless you right back. Thank you so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, I've been going through a little bit of a transitionary period in my mind of like where I stand with all this kind of stuff, and just trying to figure out, um, trying to figure out where I'm coming from with this. And we're gonna go through. Let's see what a few more of these people say. See, I hope you make your mind up. Paula Gonzalez Garacero, founder and CEO of the Vegan Agency, she says that her opinion's divided between heart and head. The pragmatic part tells her that it's good news that these companies are making steps towards veganism and putting vegan products out. But she's very concerned about the type of food quality they develop and that they don't make changes in other levels, like labor inequalities and environmental problems as well. So yeah, obviously these companies are, as I said earlier, they are mostly unethical companies. Mariana is talking from Elige Veg in Mexico, managed by Mercy for Animals. She said they have large food companies have huge production facilities, worldwide distribution, and relationships with large supermarkets and restaurant chains. So they'll be able to offer more plant-based options at lower prices. It kind of feeds into what I was saying before about how if it looks the same, tastes the same, is the same, and costs the same or less, then we have a far smaller challenge when we talk to people. And I saw one of you in the comments just now saying it's a piss poor excuse, even if it doesn't taste the same and even if it does cost a bit more. You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It is a piss poor excuse. But the point is that it's an excuse we don't even have to deal with if it's the same price or less and tastes the same, which absolutely could. It absolutely could, with the way things are going. So it's very interesting, isn't it? Thank you so much. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Joanna, right? Joanna, thank you so much, Joanna, for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting this stream. I hope you are enjoying it. I don't know what runs are. What currency is a run? Consider what run currency. What is that? That's pretty cool. I never heard that. Oh, it's Romanian. Nice. Awesome. I'm going to say something really ignorant. I thought you guys used the euro. I'm sorry if that's offensive. I don't know why it would be offensive, though. I'm sure it's not. So, yeah, I mean, in the past, I was really not supportive of this kind of, vegan capitalism. I was really not supportive of it. I still wouldn't say I'm like necessarily. Oh, it did make the noise this time and it popped up. That's cool. Look at that. Little sloth having a good little time there. That's cool, isn't it? I think what it is I think I need to have my screen open as well. Thank you so much, Jamit, for your super chat. And yes, the stream will be available. You just got to save the link. It will be available. It just won't be. It won't be like public. It's not going to be deleted. It'll be unlisted. So the link. It's in the community tab, and it'll be on the Discord. And yeah, you can get it. So don't worry. But yes, concluding the vegan capitalism argument. So I'm still not completely on board, and that I will not and have not really spent any of my money with these monster companies like takeaways and Burger Kings and all these kinds of things. I still just find it to be icky to go into these places and buy food when I can go to other places and not pay these monsters, which I believe they are monstrous corporations. But I am happy that they are doing what they're doing because, as I said, oh shit, speaking of Burger King, yeah, check this out. One thing I forgot to tell you, check this out. This is something very interesting. Burger King is saying that the CEO of Burger King, let me just find this quote. I don't want to misquote the dude. He says, so their strategy is to curb its carbon footprint by selling less beef, right? So that's Burger King is trying to sell less beef. Just think about that for a second. Burger King, burger being the main word in that fucking name, famous for selling dead cow flesh and beef, is saying they're trying to sell less beef, right? And right, they're putting vegan products in, but this stuff isn't the stuff I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you is this. Where was it? Okay, so this is the CEO. He says, when we bring in a plant-based product, there is probably an equal and opposite reaction where we are taking something else off. Are there going to be less meat products? Ultimately, you would say yes. Within a decade, up to 50% of Burger King's UK menu could be plant-based. Over time, the amount of beef that we are selling as a proportion of our total sales is reducing. So that's the CEO of Burger King saying that 50% of their menu could be plant-based within the decade, within 10 years, and the amount of beef, the amount of dead cows they're selling is reducing. So honestly, I was a big critic in the past of these kinds of big industries and what they were doing, but after seeing that, after hearing about that quote from Tyson, the Tyson CEO saying, if we could do it without the animals, why wouldn't we? And then Burger King CEO saying, yeah, we want half the menu at least to be plant-based by in 10 years. Fuck, I mean, this is happening quicker than I even ever thought could imagine it could happen. In the past, I've said the opposite of this. I've said that, oh yeah, this is all bullshit. This is never going to happen. These companies are just trying to make money for their meat, and they're going to keep making, meat products. Hey, look, I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. I had it wrong. I think I was. I think I was. The word would be radicalized in a way. I think I was the people I was talking to, the circles I was in, the things I was seeing. I was a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I made a jump. I thought I knew what was going on. I didn't know what was going on. And now it looks like I'm being proven wrong by these companies and the CEOs of these companies. And look, they might just be saying this to win some points. They might just be saying this to please the people. And maybe I was right when what I said in the past, that they're just looking for a dollar and they don't give a fuck, and they're going to keep abusing animals because they don't give a fuck. And, that still might happen. Maybe they're just saying this stuff to please people. But hey, look, it is looking good. It's looking promising. And if in 10 years that half of their menus are plant-based, then we could assume that in another 5 years it would be 100% plant-based. And then, as I said, one more time, we have to say one more time, the CEO of one of the biggest meat producers in the world said, if we can do this without the animal, why wouldn't we? And I think maybe, just maybe, it's going to go that way. Just maybe these companies will actually say, like, well, we're logical. We don't want to, we don't, these slaughterhouses are the cost, like the systems that are in place, not only are they unethical and they kill animals, but on a monetary sense, they're incredibly inefficient. The way that, the emissions, all the space they have to use, all the plants and all the food and all these things, all these complications, apart from the ethical side of things, all these complications with what they do to these animals and all the expenses that come with it. I mean, they could just do away with all of that if these new innovative companies with all those billions of dollars of research funding, if they can actually put out a plant-based product that is exactly the same, costs the same or less. I can really see these big companies just taking it and throwing it out and pushing it. And yeah, I'm feeling more positive than usual. Maybe that's just the mood of the day. Maybe it's just the mood of the day for now. But yeah, it's feeling good. I'll see a few of your comments. They will follow the dollar. That's good because vegan and plant-based food alternatives are big money. Yeah, bingo bongo, you're correct. And it's not because of the vegans, it's because of the flexitarians and because of the reducers and the environmentalists and the climate conscious. That they are the ones who are pushing this drive for plant-based food. And they're not going to stop doing it, I don't think. And as the number of vegans in the world grows, we'll also become a big player in this, and we'll also be our money will also become something that the companies are aiming for. But trust me, they're not aiming for us right now. They're definitely not aiming for us right now. So it's interesting, huh? I'm interested. I think it's a very, very promising in a place that I thought I could never say this would be promising, and I've argued in the past that it wasn't promising, and now I don't know, I'm a little bit eating my words up, but that's all right. It's all right to change your mind, guys. It's a really important thing to note. It is okay to change your mind. You can change your mind at any point about obviously not about everything, but about some things you can absolutely change your mind. And this is one of those things we don't really fucking know. We don't really know what's up. We don't really know how things are going to change. You can't predict how these things are going to impact the world. And when these things started first happening a while ago with Burger King and McDonald's popping up with the new vegan options and stuff like that, and I was very much predicting that, I don't like this. I don't like that they're doing this. They're just using the vegans. And now I'm like, Maybe I got that wrong. Maybe actually they're just trying to make money from the flexitarians, and now big CEOs are actually saying, yeah, we could actually do with not using animals that would make life better, make things easier for them. I just think it's it's very promising. Let's get those. Hopefully they make those meat alternative products that are the same and cheaper ASAP, so that these monster companies switch out their entire product lines with the plant-based options, and then it's going to make life so much easier to talk about veganism and to talk to people about veganism when the products are out there and they're just like, there it is, same price, same taste. Do you want to pay for a slaughterhouse? Do you want to pay for that? Don't be a selfish piece of shit. Right, so let's take a look at, we got another story. This one's actually a funny one. We got a meat flake story, guys. Meat flake story coming right up. Backlash after Blue Peter urges children to ditch meat. Now, for those of you that don't know what Blue Peter is, you're missing out, all right? So in the UK, we have the BBC, the British Broadcasting, what the fuck is the C for? British Broadcasting Company. And we have this thing, this TV show, the British Broadcast, wait, let's go back a step. Breathe. The BBC, the British Broadcasting Company, is paid for by the taxpayer. So it's tax-paid channel, right? TV channel. And they put on shows that are approved, obviously, by these, whatever, people who are trying to please the people, right? So you don't find a lot of controversial stuff on the BBC, or you do sometimes. Now, Blue Peter is this kids show, and it's like, it's super corny and it's like a really silly thing. Kids love it though, right? It's all feel good and help each other and learn how to do things and go into the garden and plant something, and it's all this, I don't know if you got that in your country, wherever you are, but in the UK, this is what it is, all right? It's all for little kids. Now, they have done something really naughty. They urged children to ditch meat. Oh my goodness. In one of their episodes. So what they did, the iconic TV show has encouraged children to be environmentally friendly by adhering to 3 tasks: turn off lights, use less plastic, and not to eat meat. I love how it says environmentally friendly, by the way. That really got me. So it has also asked its young audience to become part of a green army to tackle carbon emissions and climate change. And people are pissed off, right, guys? People are really pissed off. The recommendations to earn a green badge include taking the Supersized Plants pledge by replacing meat dishes with climate-friendly plant-based alternatives. That sounds to me like a really good way to get this message across to little kids. Get them Supersized Plants pledge. I think it's really nice. I mean, I'm biased, obviously. Who would have a problem with this? Who could possibly have a problem with something like this? It sounds great, doesn't it? The program cited phrases including reducing the amount of meat you eat, especially beef and lamb, is known to be even better for the climate than reducing the amount you travel in a car. Great. So that's good, right? That's accurate, isn't it? The UK's Red Meat Boards criticised the BBC for using, quote, incorrect, misleading, and widely debunked data. Oh, yeah, it's completely debunked data that a plant-based diet is better for the animals and the planet than eating animals, right? Totally debunked, guys. So this is what they've been doing. So the Quality Meat Scotland and Meat Promotion Wales sent an open letter to the broadcaster accusing it of unbalanced reporting. They use this carbon calculator thing that they're not happy about. They're talking about they're just putting up all the pseudoscience bullshit to try and prove they were wrong. The unbalanced reporting risks compromising the integrity of the red meat produced in the UK to the consumers of the future. As a public service broadcaster, the BBC has a responsibility to provide an impartial argument. This is all the more important when communicating to children. And they're basically... This is the best bit. The British red meat industry is amongst the most sustainable in the world and supports the livelihoods of thousands of people. I love that. The British red meat industry is amongst the most sustainable in the world. That's like that's like saying like McDonald's is amongst the healthiest fast food outlets in the world. It's like it doesn't make it healthy. It makes it one of the healthiest, maybe, if you're talking, for example, McDonald's, but it's not healthy food. Just like saying the British red meat industry, one of the most sustainable in the world, but it's still fucking unsustainable. It's just maybe it's more sustainable than the American red meat industry, but they're both disgusting, horrendously unsustainable industries and organizations or whatever you want to call them. They're still bad. It's like one's better than the other, but they're still both shit. I just love the way they worded it because they can't say that it's like it is the most sustainable like food because it's not. So they're like, oh, we are amongst the most sustainable of the red meat industries in the world. Like, yeah, all right, assholes. The National Beef Association (NBA) also has sent an open letter to the BBC accusing the broadcaster of being unbalanced and at worst irresponsible. And it just goes, oh, here we go. Meat of all origins, but especially red meat, is a valuable source of protein, vitamins, and minerals, and is scientifically established to provide nutrients which are essential to development and growth of children. It's also a fucking carcinogen. Fucking, oh my God, how do they get away with this? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, give your kids carcinogenic food. That is a great call, guys. And I love how also they completely obviously these industries never talk about the ethics. They never talk about these poor animals that have their fucking throats slit. You know what? What would be bad for the mental health of children, like the physical health of children. You want to talk about the nutrients and things that are going to give them. Yeah. You know what's bad for the mental health of a child? Finding out as an adult that all the nutrients and everything they got from killing animals, they could have gotten from plant-based sources and they didn't. Why? Because the parents lied to them, because the government lied to them, because these disgusting fuckers lied to them. And now they've grown up and realized they've been contributing to all of this suffering and abuse for their whole fucking life. What does that do for their mental health? Yeah. Physical health can be dealt with plant-based products, but you can't undo the mental damage that you cause someone by making them live a life full of lies. And we know that's true because we are the fucking results of it. The vegans, we are the people who grew up being lied all the way, right? I mean, not so much for me. I was raised in a bit of with my mum who actually knew this shit, but most of us, most vegans, we grew up with lies from our parents who were lied to by their parents, lied to by the government. And when we find out, it's horrible. You feel like you've been living, people have been deceiving you for your whole fucking life. That damage you can't undo, right? So, you want to talk about health, beef industry. How about you consider stop fucking lying to people, telling parents that their children should eat red meat or any meat or any animal products when they don't have to, because they don't have to. Sick fucks. Seriously. Oiva, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm just going to read it now. This is the price of 2 packages of ginger sauerkraut. Make sure my great sacrifice won't go in vain. I'm actually incapable of writing anything wholesome in these. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Oiva. I really appreciate the super chat. Thanks so much. I need to figure out how to get these super chats up on the screen for longer. And how to, oh, wait a minute. I can repeat the alert. Look at that. I can just, yeah, look at that. I can make it come up, but it's kind of small, right? The alert box is a bit too small. Let's make it, oh shit, that's not good. I don't want to do that. Let's make the alert box a bit bigger so like we can read the text. Maybe that's too big though. It's like over my face, isn't it? Should we do it again? Ah, see, that's cool actually. I like that. That's good. I can read that. I can work with that. Nice. This is, guys, I'm actually really liking, I'm a bit more comfortable now with the Streamlabs. I was a bit nervous at the beginning, but I like it now. I think this is pretty cool, Streamlabs. I mean, oh shit, did I just, yeah, being able to control it on my phone without clicking. I mean, that's awesome, right? That's awesome. All right. So, yeah, the beef industry, guys. They're a fucking joke. I'll give you a few more quotes before we move on. They said that it is incomprehensible that this type of program should offer views which are at best unbalanced and at worst irresponsible. Oh, someone made a great comment here. Look at that. Fucking vegans in the comments. Love that shit. Show most little children a lamb being killed, skinned, chopped up, and they would be horrified. Disguise it as food on a plate and they'll eat it because they trust their parents. Why are you afraid to make them aware of this process? Yeah. Nice. Go vegans. And some absolute tool. Show the kids the deforestation to give vegans a daily dose of soya, or just how much water is needed for almonds to make milk. Better yet, show record levels of salt in corn. Fucking... fucking moron. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. I know moron's not a good word to use, but fucking hell, what a clown, all right? Show the kids deforestation to give vegans daily dose of soya. I'm so sick of repeating this. The most of the soya grown is grown to feed the fucking animals who are then killed to feed pieces of shit like this. So that's done. How much water is needed for almonds? Don't use almonds. If you've got a concern with how much water is needed for almonds, don't eat almonds. Almonds aren't oxygen. You don't need to eat almonds. And anyway, non-vegans eat almonds and drink almond milk just as much as vegans. And what's the last thing they said? Record levels of salt in corn. Corn is a meat substitute in the UK. Then don't fucking eat it. It is not rocket science. If your meat alternative has too much salt for you because you're a health conscious motherfucker, then don't eat it. Simple as that. Eat something else. It's not so difficult. And anyway, if corn has high salt, I'm sure there is another meat alternative that doesn't have high salt, because in the UK, which is where this person's commenting from, there are a shitload of alternatives to corn, and there are loads of really cool meat substitutes right now. So, ugh. Test it. Yeah, Annie, I'm going to test the chat box on the screen. Let's do that. Chat box coming up. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Let's get this. Oh no. It looks weird. What's going on with the chat box, guys? Did someone do a swear on there? Is that why it's blocked it out? Give the kids some down beans. I see. Okay, we're okay. Cool. Do you like that? Do you like the chat box there? I think that's pretty cool. I don't like the color. Why is it red? I'm going to change that. I don't like the color at all. Do you guys like the color? Oh, wait up. Hey, it should be able to let me do it. Come on. No, I can't change the color. It's your... Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. This is wild. All right. Let's just... Yeah. Okay, we're in. We're good. We got this going now. We got the chat box up. I'm going to leave it up, maybe. How do you like it? Do you like seeing a chat up there, guys? I mean... I like it, kind of, I guess. You can tell me, guys. Tell me if you like the chat. The chat will come up on the screen. You can tell me if you enjoy the chat being there or not. I think it's pretty cool, huh? Red for angry vegans. I think so, actually. I think you're right. It's like, you're green, though, Louis. So maybe you're not an angry vegan. You're like, you're a I don't know, green vegan. It's okay. It's okay, ape. Cool. Well, all right. I only like my chats. Yeah, I'll let you guys have the chat up there. Let's, I mean, I think it's all right. We can maybe keep it up for a little bit at least, right? I agree. It's okay. It's fun. It's some real enthusiasm there, guys. Look, I want to talk to you about I don't even know. Wait, how long have we been going for? This is so much different than I usually use StreamYard, and it tells me all these statistics like how long we've been going for, how many of you are watching. I can tell how many of, when I say something that pisses you off, I can see how many people leave. I can't get any of that stuff right now. I don't even know how long I've been going for. I don't. Oh, it says, okay, 53 minutes. Wow, 53 minutes. Damn, this got long. I was only planning to do this for like 30 minutes today. I was only planning to come on here for a little bit, do a quick little, news stream with you guys. Little bit of news, a little bit. All right, so let's do the last story, which is kind of like a story that you may have heard before, guys. It's a story I've talked about before. I'm going to talk to you about A Billion Veg. Now, the link to this is in the description, all right? Guys, if you haven't got this yet, you need to get this. I'm not advertising here. They're not paying me to advertise this. However, I'll explain how this works. If you go on this app here, A Billion, links in the description, and you go on there, you download it, and you put my referral code, which is David Rams in capital letters, big letters, David Rams, all the way through, with no spaces, then you will be able to start making reviews. And for every review you make on this app, look, you can go find food on there, you can connect with people, you can make an impact, and this is what I want to talk about. For every review you make, they will donate $1 to an animal charity that you choose. So you can see here, look, they've got farm sanctuaries, they've got Sea Shepherds, Surge, activist groups. They've got all the different charities. For every single review you make with a photograph, you have to do a photograph as well. Take a photo of the food or product. They will donate $1. And not only that, if you've used my referral code, they will donate $1 to the charity and 25 cents to me for every review you do, which means every single review you make helps the animals and helps me. And you don't have to spend a penny. It's free. What more could you want, guys, out of an app, out of a way to help the animals and help me at the same time? It's incredible. So, guys, download that shit and put my referral code in. I just don't see why you wouldn't do it. It's awesome. Head over there and do it, and start making those reviews. You know, right now, it's awesome. That's all I can say about it. I don't know. I shouldn't have to sell this, guys. I shouldn't have to sell this any more than that. You're sensible people. We all want to help the animals. And I'll be honest with you, I'm slacking on this, right? I'm slacking. I need to make more reviews. Annie is the real breadwinner here. She smashes the reviews out on this, and she's raised like, Annie, how much money have you raised for charity right now through this app? How much money have you raised for sanctuaries? Can you put it in the chat? Tell people how much money you've raised, because it is like, yeah, you've donated over $1,000. It's right there. Awesome. $1,000. Annie has got $1,000 to charities, to sanctuaries, shelters, just by making reviews. Guys, you gotta get this. You gotta get it. Click that link, download it, put my referral code in the settings, and start reviewing right now. It's just so easy, so good. Gotta do it, guys. Gotta do it. What else did I want to talk to you about? I love this kind of like freestyle kind of stream where I'm not restricted because I'm gonna make it private later. I think it really helps take a little bit of the pressure off that it's not going public, and it's just for you guys, right? It's just for the subscribers. Like, that's the reason I take it easier, because I know you guys are here because you're supporters. You're supporters of the stream. You're supporters of my work, and I can be more relaxed with you. You know what I mean? I can be more chill with you. I can take it a little easier. I can breathe. I can relax. But when I know it's going out public, it's not the same, right? I don't want to put this kind of thing out public. I'd rather keep the public stuff more professional, more like, clean, smooth, fast, with no gaps, with no, you know what I mean? But I feel like I can trust you guys. I know you guys are here for like, for the support. So I feel like we can be more real with each other. Not that I'm not being real in the other stuff, but it's like I can have a conversation with a friend when I'm talking to you, but not so much when I'm talking to someone who's not, maybe not sure, not supportive as such. Maybe someone who's coming here to hate. I'd rather give them something like pow, pow, pow. You know what I mean? So have you seen that I'm going live tomorrow? Guys, let me know if you've seen what I'm doing tomorrow. Put it in the chat right now and tell me what I'm doing tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? Put it in the chat if you already know. I'm gonna wait because I can afford, because I can wait, because we're chilling, right? We're chilling. I'm gonna wait before I reveal it. I'm actually gonna maybe load up the thing to show everyone what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow. Whilst one of you tells everybody else what's happening tomorrow. What is happening tomorrow, guys? Can you hear that? I can hear that. Something on my side. Someone's showering. Can you hear it over the mic, or is it just because these headphones are super sensitive? So I think it's because the sound comes through the microphone, goes into my ears. What am I doing tomorrow? Do you guys get it? 50, yes. Go vegan 50,000. Yes, you are 100% right. That's what I'm doing. So for those that aren't sure what the fuck is going on, tomorrow I am going to say go vegan, the words go vegan, 50,000 times. 50,000 times. It's going to be insane. Look, check this out. Saying go vegan 50,000 times. Vegan says go vegan 50,000 times. Go vegan for the animals. Why am I doing this? It's for the animals. So what I'm going to be doing is saying go vegan, 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 just like that for 50,000 times. And it's a challenge. And I am doing it to raise money for an animal sanctuary, a vegan animal sanctuary. The reason I've chosen this vegan animal sanctuary is because it's run by a good friend of mine. And they need money. They're really hard right now, really in hard times right now. They need money. They were worrying about whether they were going to be able to feed the animals just in last month, which is not a position you want any animal sanctuary to be in. And especially for me, knowing that it's my friend, he's an animal rights activist, he's a brilliant, amazing guy. I have the utmost respect for him. And it's him and his mum that are running the sanctuary, and they've got, I believe they've got chickens there, they've got sheep, they've got goats, they've got dogs, and they need our help, guys. So that's why I'm doing this challenge, right? Now, obviously that's the number one reason I'm doing this challenge, is to raise money. It's a challenge to raise money. The number two reason, well, I feel that, there's a few people that believe that you put out into the world messages and like energies and things like that. If you believe in that, then you should believe that by me saying go vegan 50,000 times, that's a lot of fucking messages, right? So if that's something you believe in, like, putting out the energy into the world and it comes back to you and people go vegan, then yeah, that's pretty fucking cool, isn't it? Right? 50,000 times. That should make somewhat of a dent, right? It should change. It should change some people if you believe in the energies and all those things. And the number three reason I really want to do this is that I want there to be a video that people can refer to. So imagine if you're like having an argument with a family member, right? And they're like, you're always telling me to go vegan. And you can respond to them and be like, no, I'm not. And then you send them a link to this video. And I just think it's like, it could be quite a funny video, like meme wise. It's got meme potential, hasn't it? It's a potential of video that the vegans could send to people to convince them to go vegan. Just be like, hey, I'm sick of telling you to go vegan, so just watch this. And they could send it. So I thought that could be quite cool. And, I like to entertain, as well. I was saying in my, I did a Patreon exclusive video interview, Patreon exclusive video with Annie. It just released on Patreon today, and it's an exclusive interview, and we discussed kind of my goals for this channel, what I'm trying to do with this challenge, and what I'm trying to do with my videos as well. And yeah, if you want to see that, if you want to get a bit more knowledge on the kind of logic behind this, the strategy behind this live stream, the reason I'm doing this live stream, the reason that I'm doing like the last video I just made that you saw, I assume you saw with well, maybe you didn't see it, I'm fucking assuming. I just put out a video just today about making videos about ex-vegans, and that video has a very specific style, different style to my usual videos. If you want to know a bit more about that, if you want to know a bit more about why I'm doing that style, then you should join the Patreon team, and you can see that exclusive interview that I did for the patrons. It's 9 minutes long. It's like a good chunky interview. You can start to learn a little bit more about what I'm doing here. And I'm going to be doing more of these kind of behind the scenes videos and interviews explaining my strategies, why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if that's something that sounds pretty cool to you, like, oh, I'd like to know the strategy. Maybe you're trying to make a YouTube yourself. Maybe you want to get some advice on making YouTube videos or starting a YouTube, or you just want to follow me and what I go through then join the Patreon team, and you can get access to some more of this content. I'm going to be making a lot more of it very soon. Now that I've got Annie helping me, she's got her own camera. She's learned how to edit, which is fantastic. Uploading the videos herself. It's taken so much of a load off me. So we're going to be able to really start putting out some really cool, exclusive, behind the scenes interviews, content, helpful stuff that this is not quite stuff that I want to be putting on the YouTube, but it will be going into the Patreon exclusive areas. So to get over to that, if you want to access that, you can access that. It starts at $1 a month, which it doesn't seem like a lot, and it isn't a lot, I suppose, to most of you, but it is a lot to me. Because if like 2,000 people join the Patreon team at $1 a month, then that's $2,000 a month to help me live. To be honest with you, to help me live and sustain myself whilst I'm doing this, making this content. This is, it's what it's all about, right? I need to be able to do what I'm doing and keep doing what I'm doing. There has to be money, and I take that back. It's not what it's all about, but it is a massive thing that makes a difference as to whether I can do this or not moving forward, right? So it really means a lot to me when you guys join the Patreon team and support me, is what I'm trying to say, but bumbling around it a little bit. So Annie's posted the link there in the live chat, so you can see that, patreon.com/David Rams. And we have if you join soon, actually, you'll get there in time for the next voice chat we're going to have, where basically I jump in with the Patreon team. We have a voice chat where we just have a conversation and we hang out, we catch up. It's going to be on the I believe the 24th of April, so a week tomorrow. We're going to have that in the exclusive Discord, the Patreon area of the Discord. That's pretty cool. I really enjoyed those. We get to catch up, see what each other is up to, and ask some questions, answer some questions, have kind of like some I guess like you call it like personal time, I guess. It's pretty cool. I like it. That sounds good. Join the team. It sounds good. Join the team. And guys, that's all I've got for you today. We're over an hour. I've doubled the time I expected to be on here for, but I was enjoying myself and I was enjoying chilling out with you guys, taking it more easy, as I said, and doing a little bit more of a slower, more spaced out stream with a little bit less of a clear focus, more just going as we go. I see Miss Katie's just joined. You joined late. Miss Katie, you joined late. We're just finishing up. But yeah, welcome That Vegan Teacher. That's the real That Vegan Teacher, by the way, guys. I don't think that's the fake account. So definitely go support That Vegan Teacher, Miss Katie, and drop her a subscribe, drop her some likes on the videos. I've got a few. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Before I shoot off, I've got an interview Sunday coming up, which is, you've seen that already, but I'm going to be having an interview with an activist who has been attacked by and has also kind of fought back against some kind of workers and people who have physically tried to attack him and come after him for doing animal rights activism. And we're going to get into a conversation which is about, well, is it all right for vegans to fight back, or should we not fight back? Like, I mean, physically, like if someone punches a vegan because they're doing activism, should the vegan punch them back? And what is that? What does that mean for the overall kind of image? And we're going to get deep into this. It's going to be very interesting about kind of, is it better to be pacifist or actually to go out and be angry and get your punch back and things like that. So we're going to get into that, and then the week after that, got another interesting stream with another guest. You may know of him. He was here earlier, Vegseps. He was here earlier. 17-year-old activist out of the UK, USA, not the UK. And he's made some interesting videos, one of which we're going to focus on, where he was discussing how he made a video called The Most Racist Vegan on the Internet. So if you've not seen that already, go over to his YouTube channel, Vegseps, like bicep, but Vegsep, and watch his video titled The Most Racist Vegan on the Internet. And we're going to discuss that. And the title of that live stream that I'm going to do is going to be The Most Racist Vegans on the Internet, because we're going to open this up and we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the kind of the vegans out there who are, let's say, think that they're fighting injustice but they're not. They're actually contributing to it. We're talking about, the cancel culture mobs, the crowds, the ideologues, the groups that we have touched on in the past. But this time we're going to have a guest who has also, well, not so much touched on it. He's actually dived in and he's fighting that fight. And I'm really pumped to get him on and hear more about what he has to say and why he said what he said and get into that discussion. I'm very excited for that. It's a topic we've not touched in a while, but I'm always interested in discussing it and opening it up a bit more and learning more about, getting different opinions on that. So guys, it's been great to have you here. I've very much enjoyed reading the chat. I've been keeping up with it as much as I could. But thanks everyone for joining. I've enjoyed this a lot. I really do prefer these chill streams. I'm glad now we get to do this like on a weekly basis rather than before where I barely ever did these kind of chill ones. If you do enjoy these, as I said earlier, keep me making them. Make it possible to. Let me think. What am I going to say this now? I'm trying to think of something catchy to say to you right now. Make it possible for me to keep making these videos. Yeah, make this possible. Make it possible to keep me making the videos. Make it possible, keep me making the videos. Whatever. Help me keep making these videos. Make it more possible for me to keep doing this on a long-term basis. Join the Patreon team. Pick up some merch from the store, davidrams.com. What else can you do? Join a Billion Veg. Smash the reviews for the animals and to help me out. And all this stuff together, guys, will if you really like my work, this stuff's going to help me keep making more of it. So I really love you guys for supporting me. thank you so much to the Patreon team for continuing to support me, and with some new patrons today as well, which I'm so happy. I'll always love opening my emails and seeing like an email is like new Patreon, a new member of the Patreon team. Like I love having this community of people. It makes me so happy when people, you know, see my work and they're like, I want to support this guy. There's not many better feelings for me in the world when I'm putting all this effort in and making all this effort, all this editing, and sitting here for hours and hours trying to make this work, you know, trying to put my messages out there and trying to like inspire people and make change and influence people to go vegan, and also trying to like sustain it, you know, trying to make sure there's like some kind of income, and all doing this at the same time. There really is no better feeling than knowing that there are people like you out there who support and like, yes, I want to support this guy. I want to see more of this work. You know, I'm joining your Patreon team. It's just, yeah, it feels great, guys. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you again. And I'll try and finish the stream one more time before I get caught up on another topic. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow for the 50,000 Go Vegan live stream. And then Sunday for the interview where I'll have no voice left. And then most likely Wednesday for another video that I think you're going to very much enjoy. See you all tomorrow.